Welcome back to Everything Money. We're glad you clicked on this video. Those beautiful thumbnails that I make, Paul. Everyone loves those thumbnails.
We all love them, Seth.
Today we're talking about a very broad topic in that what is better to invest in, real estate or stocks? We've talked about both on this channel for a long time. Paul, you're an expert at both. You have at one point in time had over 1,000 units of real estate. Of course, you sold a little when it was incredibly high, and you have a war chest ready when everything falls out. And we talk about
or when times get better.
Times get better, of course. And then we talk about the same thing when it comes to stocks. So we also know the massive influx of new investors, young and old, with Robinhood, with they're just getting in the market. It's an exciting time because that little return on investment you get with real estate that might take decades. People are finding they can get this return in crazy hype stocks, up or down in a matter of minutes. But in the end, we'd like to clear the air a bit and let you hear Paul's thoughts on both topics, real estate versus stocks, and how to move forward in your life, maybe investing in both or one or the other.
Okay, so what I want to talk about first is, and Seth, this is going to involve some interaction with you and Mo.
Please do.
What are the benefits of real estate? Let's first talk about that. Benefits of real estate.
Appreciation.
Appreciation?
Depreciation.
Oh, depreciation. Now, for those of you who don't know what that means, depreciation is where the government allows you to write off a piece of the value of the real estate and write it off your other income. It doesn't cost you any money. All that happens is in the future, you're going to owe, as your property gets depreciated, you're going to owe taxes on the gains in the future, but at a much lower tax rate. So depreciation is an advantage.
Cash flow, I would assume monthly cash flow.
Yeah, monthly cash flow, monthly/yearly cash flow.
I would say, like, typically this is obviously something people need to live, so it's maybe more stable. Paul, what are your thoughts?
Okay, I'll talk about stable in the sense of, if you have an apartment building here or a house here, and it's an already developed area, it's hard to put a big competitor right next door to you. Mm-hmm. Unlike business, somebody can go start a widget company tomorrow to compete with all the other widget companies, theoretically.
I think from a mental standpoint, you're not seeing a minute-to-minute ticker of what that property's worth.
Okay, so you can take the emotion out of it much easier.
Yep.
But one of the things I also mentioned, to go on, it's tangible.
Yeah, so you told me
this, Paul. Real estate.
Yeah, you're right. So if you're investing in a Bitcoin out there, and the only way you can
even a stock
or a stock, right? You're right. And the only way it could go up is if the price of said stock goes up. A house will go up in value theoretically and be paying you on a monthly basis. This is true investing, Paul.
Correct. What about stocks? What are the benefits of stocks?
Fast.
Pardon me?
Fast.
What do you mean by fast, Seth?
Well, I mean, you can buy a stock in the next 30 seconds.
Right.
And you can't sell. You can sell it instantly.
I would say it's very liquid.
Yep.
Piece of real estate, when you want to sell it,
process.
Forget about this market.
This market, yeah.
In a normal market, but even in this market, it takes
time.
It takes still 30 to 60 days to close.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? So it still takes time. You can't get the money tomorrow. There's going to be a lot more due diligence about it. So liquidity is big.
There's no sweat equity. I mean, you're not busting your hump replacing
No
toilets.
work.
No work.
Correct. You buy a stock, you just sit there. You buy an ETF, mutual, you just sit there back, relax, and enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. Real estate, it got a lot of work to it. What's another one, Uncle Seth? Or Mo? Cousin Mo?
You can get cash flow from
you can get dividends.
You can get some dividends. Cash
sure.
flow.
Okay, what else you got? There's another big one for stocks. Low capital needed. You can start buying a stock with $100.
Yep.
Not 100,000. Right.
Probably even less. Real estate, I always tell people like, hey, I don't have much money. How to get started in real estate? I go save.
Yeah.
Ironically, there was I wrote Mark Cuban an email years ago when I wanted to buy a sports team like in 04, 05, and he didn't respond. And I wrote again, and I wrote the subject, I will keep emailing you until you respond. And I said, hey, I've got X amount of dollars. I want to own a sports team. Any advice? He goes, save up a lot of money. There are no magic bullets, M. So same thing now. There are no magic bullets. Save up a lot of money to buy real estate. Stocks, you can do it tomorrow with $100. I mean, it's just a very easy, even less probably, because you have a 401k or things like that. So these are the benefits. Now, Seth, if I were to tell you that something requires more work, we've already determined that real estate requires more work, right?
Yes.
Did
you put work with an I? You did.
No, I did not do work with an I. I did it with an E.
I, like
work with an E.
Work.
How does that look?
Work.
Go ahead.
If something requires more work, do you want to make more or less money?
More.
Right. You want to make more money here. So, theoretically, real estate should make you more money over long periods of time.
What kind of return are you looking for?
So then that's the it depends answer.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it this way, guys. If something is illiquid and requires a lot of work, you should expect a higher return.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't get it when I hear real estate investors go, oh yeah, I'm getting a good 9 or 10% return on my money. I'm
boy,
like,
why would you
sick.
do that?
No.
Stocks over 30 or 40 years will do the exact same thing.
Yes.
Why waste your time? Now, granted, there's stability in pricing here because of what Mo said earlier. You don't have, as Warren Buffett says, you don't have somebody on top of your house putting the dollar value of your house every single second of every single day, except for Zillow. You know, we have a friend of ours who's always like, oh, my house, according to this, is worth this. I'm like, congratulations, that's awesome. So real estate should make you more money over long periods of time. That's always the case. End of the day, what matters in how much money you make.
It's not what you buy, it's what you pay, Paul.
Correct. So, have there been times when real estate made less money than stocks? Absolutely. I have a friend of mine who bought a house in Miami for $450,000 in 2006. They're now selling it for $375,000, and it's 2021. Where was the S&P in 2006? 1,500, roughly, right? And now it's 4,200. Which one did better? Right? So stocks did better, but why? Because they overpaid in the most booming market of all time for real estate. Correct? Right. So it all depends on what you pay and the market you're in. Now, what I always advise is be a value investor. Know what you're buying and pay a reasonable amount of money for that, and don't overpay for growth. When their house they paid for $450,000 2006 in Miami, Florida, it was probably a $150,000 house in 2000. So they thought this is going to be great. They paid $450,000 for it, and now they're selling it in a hype market again for $375,000. So that's the issue, guys. Short term, it all depends on when you buy. Over long periods of time, if it requires more work and it's less liquid, which real estate is, you should get a higher return. So Seth, that's the question. How much more return? When I do a real estate deal, I'm not even thinking about it unless my 15% return is there. Now, ironically, in my stock portfolio account, with options and everything, I can beat that return. However, there are attributes to this that I very much enjoy. And I don't like the fluctuating prices of stocks is another reason why I have real estate. I won't get into for our patrons, I will explain to our patrons how I make much bigger returns than 15% in real estate. But basically my real estate now, because I bought them during the crash of 2008, 9, and 10, when everybody thought I was crazy buying real estate when they were considered toxic assets, make me 30 to 40% returns. So that's why I have my real estate now. I can't get 30 to 40% returns over 10 or 15 years in stocks. It's also diversification. I like the diversification of having multiple streams of income. If real estate's doing really well, maybe stocks aren't, things like that. I don't know. But the whole point is I have staff. I generate this cash flow. I build value. I also thoroughly enjoy rehabbing. And the big benefit of real estate is reinvestment of capital. I can reinvest my money in real estate at 15% returns. I'm reinvesting my money into my own asset making 15%. It's hard enough to find an asset that you don't even know to make 15%. I reinvest in my own asset and make 15%. You can't do that in stocks. You can't reinvest in your own asset to increase your cash flow.
Another great thing about real estate is debt.
Oh yeah, you can use leverage. I didn't even think about that one.
Yep.
You can use leverage much easier. Now you can use leverage here,
in stocks,
but you're literally asking for trouble. Right now, the amount of debt on stocks is insane. But you can use leverage here to maximize your return. Now, for the average investor, I think you should be looking for 15% returns in your real estate, because if stocks are going to make you 9 or 10 with very little work, go get that extra premium. Go get it. Now, I have some real estate that makes me 13 or 14%, but guess what? It's all paid off in cash with no debt. So again, 13% versus 15%, it all depends on what's underlying the issue. Like that moron Grant Cardone, he says 6% is better than 0. No, he's wrong. 6% isn't better than 0. You have to have tons of leverage and with a lot of downside risk to make 6% versus sitting on 0 and not having that downside risk. 0 is better than 6. I make 13 to 14% with no debt on my real estate. On my real estate deals with no debt, I make 13 to 14%. Why would I'm fine with that. I'm beating the market and I have no debt. I mean, what's my downside risk on that real estate? It's very, very little. So it all depends on a lot of factors, but overall, when you have less liquidity and more work, you should make more money. It just makes perfect. That's why bonds pay very little. There's no upside potential, but there's a lot of liquidity. So these are the things that pay very little and a lot of guarantees in it. More risk, more reward. Now your job is to get more risk, and your job is to take less risk and get more reward. How do you do that? That's by doing different things than what the market's doing. It's about not buying homes in 2006. And it's about sitting there saying, why is the market all saying that this stock is very good or this stock sucks, and buying it at the right time? You're going to make the most money when prices are down and the most fear occurs. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So does that make sense on real estate versus stocks? And you should make more money in real estate over long periods of time.
The number one question we always get is, what are the initial steps about getting into real estate, Paul? I mean, like
Save up a lot of money.
Save how much money, Paul?
I always tell people $50K minimum, and use about 25 or 30K of it for down payment.
What about going in with partners and friends?
I love it. Go get your partners and friends involved, but be very structured on who's in charge of what. Everybody has their own separate tasks that they enjoy and do themselves. Absolutely love it. So I read, somebody posted a video in one of my group chats the other day, and it said, Paul, what do you think of these real estate investors? It was these two young people at 21 houses, and they said, here are the steps to get started in real estate. Very first thing, I read it, and I said, these people are idiots. Why? They said, find a good realtor.
A real estate agent? Oh my Lord, really? Well, hold on a second, Paul. I know I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, but realtors can throw a person like myself, start throwing me houses to get in the mindset of, but go on. I have someone emailing me on a daily basis, crappy houses.
They're not emailing you anything. It's an automatic email. They're not doing anything for you.
Well, of course, but I mean.
Now, guys, realtors are salespeople. Realtors are salespeople. Their job is to sell you. Their job is not to invest. Whenever I hear somebody say, oh, this realtor is a real estate expert. No, they're a sales expert. I hear in the market right now, every single friend of mine is a realtor on Facebook and LinkedIn. Oh my God, I posted this house. It was sold same day. I help these people. When the market crashes, they're like, it's the market. Okay, so when the market's up, it's not the market. When the market's down, they're just salespeople. More power to them. Find a good realtor when you sell a property. When you're buying, do not even think about listening to your realtor. They're going to push you in the way that they're programmed. They're programmed in, how do I sell this property fast?
Yes.
How do I get this property under contract fast? Not, how do I make the most money? I have a realtor friend of mine. I adore this woman. She's such a nice person. Years ago, she pitched me a deal. I was like, it doesn't make sense. She's like, Paul, this is a great deal. So I said to her, hey, do me a favor then. Throw your commission in the deal. And she literally said the words, well, let me go look at the numbers first before I agree to that.
Uh-oh.
So wait a second. Before it was a great deal. Now all of a sudden I say throw your commission in the deal. It's such a good deal. I got to look at the numbers. And you might sit there and say you're working with the wrong realtors. If you believe that I'm working with the wrong realtors because of that, you are the sucker at the table. It's not the case. Avoid all realtors and brokers except for showing you the deal. Up front, say your job is to send deals to me. I don't want to hear anything else. Your job is to do your own analysis and your own research on every single deal. That's it. So, real estate, do not, the second I saw find a good realtor, I just laughed and shut the video down. I'm like, this is stupid. Your job is to understand how you make money. Watch our videos. We're going to do more real estate videos, how to make money in your real estate deals. It's very simple. It's cash flow.
If you need assistance and you feel lonely out there, which Paul, I was trying to get into some real estate before I met you, and it is difficult. You can join our Patreon. Join our Patreon below. We will be shifting off Patreon this fall, so you can join the Everything Money community. And they're talking about real estate in there. You can join.
And we're going to have a real estate calculator in there as well as part of our software.
Paul. You want to show them this chart about the
So guys, our software, if you like stocks or real estate, it's going to have all of this. The mobile app, 8 pillars, 30 years of financial data, stock analyzer tool, daily content exclusive to you, real estate calculator, and stock screeners and retirement. Guys, it has everything. It's 80 cents per day. 80 cents per day. These other companies are $200 a month, $200 a month, $35 a month. You get all of this versus that. And guess what, guys? It's going up to $50 a month. We're just getting it lower because we want to get people in, reward the people who get in early.
Yeah, that is our take on real estate versus stocks. Both are very intriguing. And if you follow along this channel, we hope you follow us for a long time. You'll learn about both and join the Patreon. You'll get direct access to us to learn even more. So that is our take. Thanks for watching the video. As always, fondle that thumbs up on the way out. And we'll see you on one of our next live streams. Thanks so much.